Hello, Pisces, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're getting through this winter season. I know that now that we're into the month of March, I'm getting very excited about spring and summer on the way because summer's definitely my favorite season. I mean, I really like fall too, but I'm done with winter. I like winter for the first little bit, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Let's move on. Anyway, this will be your weekly reading for the week of March 8th through the 14th. And during that time, we have a waning gibbous energy we bring in from last week, which we had that big full moon and that eclipse and all the changes in the world and changes in our personal. I don't know if you're like me, but just things are just going on, right? So we're going to calm down from that a little bit. With the waning gibbous is a time of self-reflection and rebirth. It's also a good time for us to get rid of bad habits and negative thinking. We then move into the third quarter energy, that last quarter, and that can come in around the 11th or the 12th, kind of depending on where you are. And that is a time of reflection also, like the waning gibbous, but also a time for us to kind of just get to our full potential on those things that we started during the last new moon, those projects that we started. How are we doing there? Did we succeed? Did we fail? Are we somewhere in the middle? Do we need to make adjustments as the new moon approaches? So we then move into the waning crescent, which is a good time of stability and calm for us to really, again, self-reflect, but also think about those ways in which we want to grow personally, inside out, whatever projects you might have going on. And again, with the new moon approaching next week, we start to think, okay, what do I want to start for that new moon, which is a good time to start those things, or do I want to continue what I'm working on right now? Anyway, all of that to say, please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Pisces. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is that you and your loved ones are safe. So, and I've said earlier, someone else had that card too. For some reason, that card always kind of makes me think about natural disasters. I don't think that's the intention of that card. That's a new moon in Cancer, but for some reason, that's exactly what comes to mind. So it makes me want to remind you things like if you're in an earthquake zone, make sure that you have like your go bag ready to go. If you're in a weather zone, make sure that your weather radios are working. So, those things do come about. And we have been in some crazy sun, moon, all of our energies are just really crazy on the planet right now. So just make sure you're prepared in case of emergency. All right, let's get into this reading here. Pisces, March 8th through the 14th. Oh, the one thing I did want to say too is my fun weekly reminder, as while we're doing all this self-reflecting, is for you to try to get out in nature. Of course, not during a natural disaster, but hopefully your weather allows for you to get out in nature a little bit, maybe take a walk. Hopefully it's going to be, I think we get some warm weather this week here, so I'm excited about that. But even if it's just to get out under the night sky, just get out there and look at the stars. But if you have time to get a walk in nature somewhere, a park or something that you enjoy, or catch a good view, that's a really good time to just get away from, the buzz of electronics and things that might just be around you, and just get out there and that's a good time to self-reflect, is in nature when we're hearing birds and all those little nature sounds. So, okay, anyway, we will get into this reading now. Pisces, March 8th through the 14th. You and your loved ones are safe. All right, and your overall message card for this reading is look at all the choices you have coming up. So, lots of choices there with the Seven of Cups, and choose wisely, right? Choice is a luxury. And if you have the luxury to, what are you going to choose? Are you, and this is, it could be anything. It could be anything where you have so many choices, and you might be a little overwhelmed by choice a little bit this week. If this card is kind of your present energy, it's like, so many choices, I'm not sure what to choose. But let the universe guide you. Make sure that you're kind of watching signs and synchronicities and that sort of thing. And what is your big overall picture and goal for your own life. If you have self-reflected on those things, then the choices become easier, right? It kind of narrows your choice. Like, well, of course I would make this choice because this is best for, my growth, my personal growth, my family, my surroundings. So choose wisely. Let's see, your current situation is the Sun card. So yeah, you're also having just great mood, great feeling. The Sun is our card of light, right? Brilliance. It's a card of healing. It's a card of just comfort and just clarity. It's light, So definitely make sure that those choices are also covered in that light energy. And enjoy that sun and light energy. It's just one of the happiest cards in the deck is the sun. So if you get that mood and you're laughing and you're having a great week, let's just go with it this week. At the root of your situation is the Knight of Pentacles. So there may be some sort of action here on the material front. This could run the gamut from new money coming into you. Maybe you did a tax return and there's some money sitting there. Maybe you make some material purchase this week that you're very excited about, and that might have been where you had some choices to make, right? Or narrow some things down. So some sort of action here on the pentacle front. Um, and that's fun. That's good. That's you having kind of the clear vision of something that you wanted or something that you want to go for, or a way to manage, again, like extra money or something that's coming in, just action that you have to take on that front. In your recent past is the Lovers card, so that's nice. You've got, looks like, some support here when it comes to your emotional life, your family life, just the support of a partner, having that at your back, and moving into your future. And of course, that makes you feel happy. Um, and, might be part of maybe some of these choices that you're choosing a vacation. Maybe you're thinking about a family vacation. How can you get closer and spend more time together? That's in your recent past. I guess you've been thinking about some things when it comes to relationship and your romantic life, how to make that better, how to have more fun there. So on your mind this week is the 10 of Pentacles, which of course involves a romantic partner, spouse, that sort of thing, because we're thinking about long-term wealth and security. Maybe this money that does come in, you do want to put it somewhere, make some sort of investment that is going to be a long-term investment. So and that could be part of these choices as well. Now we're surrounded by pentacles, but you're very happy to do it. It seems like the logical next step. I was telling another reading that, sometimes when we're setting goals and doing things like this, you kind of want to go as far into your future as you can and think about yourself literally on your deathbed. And, did you want to spend more time? When you look back over your life, the more time you spend being happy, the more time you spend with your partner, the more time you making those right choices, when it comes to money, that sort of thing, not making the wrong choices. Like, where do you want to be? And then move yourself backwards through time. Like, how do you get to that point? How do you get to be this old gray man here, or woman? I guess it's a man in this picture, but and be able to enjoy those things around you. He's enjoying the other generations around him, this generation, and then look, there's a small child right there too, and these dogs. And I mean, and what decisions are you making? What choices are you making right now to make sure you and your partner, that's you at some point, right? What is just ahead of you this week is the Knight of Wands. So not only action here on the material front, but also action in passion, action in something that you love. And this is, just, it could be anything that really just lights a fire under you that makes you excited to do it. So again, make sure that those choices are, grounded in the passion. Like, don't do things that don't really fire you up, right? So I think what I'm trying to say. So the things that excite you, that's where you want to put your time and your energy and your money, um not in things that don't excite you. So that's pretty simple. In your advice position here is the Empress card. So the Empress is our card of creativity. She's the mother of our deck. She is about um you know harvest, things that are coming in. This could be a card of pregnancy, and that this is in your advice position. And so I feel like this is really, enjoy this part of your life right now. If you are concerned, or if you're trying to get pregnant, maybe Think about that, just to put that out there. It's not always a card of pregnancy. Usually it's a card about long-term commitment to something. And because we were talking about finances here and passion and all of these things, this could be just long-term commitment to an investment, right? To make the right choice so that, in pregnancy, we're thinking about a child that we're going to nurture, not only in our bodies for 9 months, but then this child comes out and you think about all of the time that you're going to spend raising this child, educating this child until they're 18. And I promise you, as the mom with adult children, that does not end when they're 18. It goes on, and you're concerned for that. This is a lifetime, and it's a big, big commitment. So much like that, because she represents pregnancy, but it's also pregnancy of things that we might engage in and do, like an investment. If you make the commitment to invest in something, make sure that you're in it for the long haul. So that's your advice right there. What is beyond your control this week is that you might come together. Here's another card of partnership. That you may come together with someone else who also, this could be a friend, but this could also be your partner, or that you and your partner maybe talk to a financial advisor about something about this. You're wanting to, really grow your nest egg, grow those investments. You know, I'm only saying this because of this long-term card right here. So, it's beyond your control to maybe kind of seek that information out from someone else that you know or trust, or like I said, like some trusted advisor. What is your secret desire and what are you trying to avoid? The Seven of Wands. So I would imagine you're trying to avoid feeling like it's you against the world. I doubt if that's anyone's secret desire. It's like, yeah, I would like to feel like I'm just fighting the rest of everyone else. So if it's your desire to avoid this, then these things just need to stay between you and your partner, is my advice. I don't feel like this is something, whatever's going on here, you don't need to share this with the world. And I mean that, like, if you come into some money, you don't need to share that with everyone else. Everyone else is now going to have an opinion on how you need to invest. And maybe there's just one person that you maybe need to ask that of, not the whole world. So not everyone needs to know, so that you're not feeling like it's you against the world. In your outcome position is the Four of Cups. So are you a little bit dissatisfied with what the universe is offering you right now? Or are you a little bit dissatisfied with some previous choice that you have made? Like, is this from the universe, or is this, again, I laugh at this because it's coming out of the clouds here, this hand. But wow, look at all these cups. This person is choosing. So think about how your choices can lead you to satisfaction or dissatisfaction. That's very interesting. The both of those cards are, I think, appearing in the positions that you're in right now. So, and that's in your outcome. So I feel like this is really saying, think through these things. Again, this is something you want to bring your partner in on. You want to talk about, you want to make this commitment for the long haul. And again, who is this? I wouldn't, I mean, it's, yeah, that could be about your partner, but I feel like that's also advice seeking, and it's kind of beyond your control. So just make sure at the end of the week that this dissatisfaction, and this might go into next week, you might not be happy with the answers that you're hearing here. Excuse me. Also, anytime I get a little frog in my throat when I'm doing a reading, I also think you do need to speak up. There's somewhere here that you need to speak up. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about with that. All right, let's see what's hidden from you this week. Is the Ten of Swords. So this is kind of an ending, and it's hidden from you. So this is ongoing. I don't think this resolves this week. But I do think it's something that's kind of ongoing. And again, it might be with you and your partner that you're trying to make these decisions, and it seems like a big decision. It's a big commitment, whatever you're thinking about, but you're just not happy with the information that you're getting just yet. So hold off. There's no rush. There's no rush. You can let this go. You're happy as you are right now. You can let this go for a little bit longer. Also, look up angel number 1010, since we have two tens on the table. All right, Pisces, let's pull a final card here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Pisces is to take the lead. All right, so maybe, when it comes to, again, with you and your partner, maybe it is something you're wanting to take more of a lead on. With this, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care as you're working through whatever this decision is for you. It looks like a big decision too. Anytime I see the Empress, I think about that. I mean, it could be about having a baby or adding another member to your family, or again, some long-term commitment, something that you're thinking about that it's a long-term commitment. It's not like, should we go away next weekend? It's a long-term something that will affect your life for years to come, and you're thinking pretty heavily about it. All right, the card that you get for self-care is the card called Kindness, the really pretty heart in the middle. What if being kind to yourself really could change everything? And that's such great advice. So be kind to yourself. You're in a happy space right now. It looks like this decision, you're in a good place. I feel like these decisions, it's something that you don't have to make it the second, right? I feel like this is going to go into next week. You're not really happy yet with how things might work out with it. So look up angel number 1010, see if that has any bearing on the situation for you. So Pisces, thank you so much for being here. I hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below, or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. Also, if you hit like and subscribe, I really appreciate that. And it will help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see if this story continues or if there's a completely new energy here for you next week. So thanks so much, Pisces. Good luck with this, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.